Hello, this is Alexander Cross, criminal defense here in the San Francisco Bay Area. If you'd like to learn more about criminal law here in the San Francisco Bay Area, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Law Offices of Cross and Associates. So we received an interesting inquiry here on our YouTube channel. This has to do with a minor who committed a crime. Criminal attorney, San Jose. Criminal lawyer, San Jose. Juvenile court, San Jose. Juvenile lawyer, San Jose. Juvenile attorney, San Jose. Let's see here. So my son has been arrested twice within 6 months for trying to threaten someone with a weapon and then for trying to rob a store. What can I do? Well, fortunately, there aren't too many fortunates here, but fortunately, your son was a minor. And the good thing is that when he gets arrested and he's sent to criminal court, criminal court's not really about punishment. They're more about rehabilitation. I mean, because if he was an adult, I mean, for assault with a deadly weapon, he could be looking at 4 years state prison. And for trying to rob a store, well, if he didn't succeed, if he robbed the store, if he succeeded in robbing the store, then under Penal Code Section 211, he'd be looking at 6 years state prison. But since it was just an attempted robbery, he'd be looking at 3.5 years state prison. So that is a potential issue. But I will have to say that in a situation like this, first, what's going to be necessary is obviously enter pleas of not guilty, order copies of the police report, and obtain any evidence that is pretty strong against your son. For instance, in a situation like this, you're going to have witnesses, the victims, that may identify your son. Now, if multiple witnesses who are interviewed separately are shown photo lineups, and they all point to the same kid, we have a problem right there, and it's probably not a good idea for this thing to go to trial. In a situation like that, now keep in mind also that if you go to trial in juvenile court, you don't get a trial by jury. You get trial by judge. Judges tend to convict people far more frequently, so not a good idea, especially if you have multiple witnesses that could attest to his identity. In a situation like this, it's really going to be necessary to talk to the DA and to really do your best to start the process of trying to cut a deal with the DA. Your criminal defense attorney is going to have to do this to see what can be done to avoid a serious sentence. Sometimes they can send the juveniles to a place called the ranch where they do rehabilitate them, but definitely they can be sent to a place where they're not going to spend years in custody as they would have been had they been adults. The other thing that would help, obviously, is for the parents to be at all the court hearings and to even request that the judge release the son on an electronic monitor. Now, if the judge is gracious enough to allow for your son to be released on an electronic monitor, a GPS will be placed on his ankle, and he will have to stay at home pending the outcome of his case. But at least he won't be stuck in juvenile hall, and his home can be his jail. And the longer the case goes, the better, because if it can be shown that the kid is behaving well at home and there are no problems, maybe he can have an opportunity to be released to his parents, and he could just be on EM, which is electronic monitoring, but at home. But there are many alternatives in juvenile court. It's much better than going to adult court, where it's almost guaranteed that you got accused one day of assault with a deadly weapon, and a month later attempted robbery. You're going to go to prison on that, especially if the evidence is against you, for sure. Regardless, if you'd like to learn more about criminal law here in the San Francisco Bay Area, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Law Offices of Cross and Associates. But if you've been accused of a crime and need representation in court here in the San Francisco Bay Area, give us a call at 1-800-862-7677. Once again, 1-800-862-7677. On our next video, we're going to be discussing somebody who was accused of a hit and run. Criminal attorney, San Jose. Juvenile attorney, San Jose. Criminal lawyer, San Jose. Juvenile lawyer, San Jose. See you on our next video.